Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Sam. In today's video I'm going to be doing, if you read this book and you liked it, then I think you should read this book. Now I'm not going to go into like this full-on synopsis, much plot-wise for each book, because I have 20 books to share. So we would be here for a long time. So I'm just going to go on like tropes and vibes. That's what I'm doing, okay? To make my life a little easier and hopefully yours as well. So you don't have to sit and watch a, 30-minute long video, which I hope is still not, but somehow I tend to yap in every single video I make. Feels like it's 30 minutes long, so okay. We're just gonna get started though. I have broken them down into categories. So I think we'll just start out with the romance. I've got romances, I've got thrillers, I've got some historical fiction, and I think only one sort of fantasy pairing. So we'll start out with romance. So the first pairing that I have is, if you read Just for the Summer by Jimenez and you loved it, then I think you should read Summer Romance by Annabel Monaghan. Now, these two, even the titles are very similar, okay? So this is an obvious pairing. Both of these, if I'm not mistaken, follow older characters, I believe. Like a bit older. They're not like early 20s, I want to say late 20s. And even this one, I believe, is 30s, possibly. And these books are romances, and they are both just supposed to be summer romances, a sort of like, let's get lost in each other, let's have some fun for the summer. But obviously things don't turn out that way, feelings get in the way, and these both have some heavier topics, but also some very funny, lighthearted comic relief thrown in there to, sort of lighten the mood of both of these stories. I really, really enjoyed both of these, and I feel like I don't hear anyone talking about this book. And I think the point of this video, if you really read and enjoyed this one, give this one a shot, maybe next summer or even before we get into fall. It's not completely fall yet, but if you are looking for a last summer read to squeeze in, maybe try these out. The next pairing that I have is going to be, if you read and loved A Nordic King by Karina Halle, then I think you should read Broken French by, I am blanking on her name. I'll have a picture up here, obviously. So these are both nanny romances, and they have a single dad who is in need of a nanny. I believe they both have nothing but girls as well. It's been a while since I've read Broken French, but I believe they're all girls. And I know that this one is all girls because this one is one of my favorite nanny romances of all time. Okay, I love this book. And Broken French, just as good, okay? We have heroes who, like, they've been through stuff and their heart just isn't open to loving someone else. But you have this young nanny who comes in and just livens things up, and he can't help but fall for her. And the children fall hard for these nannies too, and the nannies, they just love these kids so much, and they become just such a part of their lives. And they're both sort of on the slow burn side. And both of these are also set abroad. We have our heroine who is not from the country that she is living and working in. This one is following obviously a king in Norway. And then we have, I believe Broken French is set somewhere in France, but I could be wrong, but that sounds stupid to say I could be wrong because Broken French is the title. I believe it's set somewhere in France. I will correct myself if I'm wrong, but yeah, these two, if you're looking for a good like slow burn nanny romance, try either one of them out, okay? If you've read one, not the other, here's your chance, okay? Now is the time. The next pairing that I have, the first book that I'm going to talk about is one that I didn't love entirely. I gave it 3 stars, but I know that other people really, really, really enjoy this book and they love it so much. And it is one that they read from this trope, which is the accidental pregnancy trope. and they actually liked it. Like, it made them a fan of the trope, and I love that. I love that. So it's a me thing, I think, for this book in particular, but I do still want to recommend it because I think it could widely be loved. And that is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. So if you have read this book and you loved it, I think you should read Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. Both of these books have the accidental pregnancy trope. Both of them have such golden retriever heroes, such good friends to lovers. Again, they both have heavier topics to them, but there's a lightness, a sort of comedic relief, again, to these books that just make them so fun and so readable. So this one, like I said, I loved this one so much more than Out on a Limb, but I think if you want the same sort of vibes, friends to lovers, golden retriever hero, pick them up and see. Okay, definitely this one, for sure, this book. Okay, does Cookie want to make an appearance? Come here. They haven't seen you in such a long time. Say hi. Hi, pretty girl. Yeah, she immediately put me down, mother. We're going to get into dark romance because if you have read and loved Untouchable by Sam Mariano, I think you should read Truly by Carmel Rhodes. Both of these are set in high school. Both of these boys insert themselves into the heroines' lives, and like, they're just not taking no for an answer. They're not taking no for an answer at all. There is some dubious consent, some non-consent, some consensual non-consent. It's okay. These are dark. These are bully romances. The heroes, you don't want to like them, but you end up liking them in both. I mean, if you have not met Carter Mahoney yet and you like dark bully romances, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm blanking on his name in here because I read Truly so long ago, but he was really good too. He was good. And this one is like Forced Proximity because I believe they go on like a road trip or something. So yeah, if you read and loved Carter Mahoney and you want more Carter Mahoney, Truly by Carmel Rhodes. Next romance pairing that I have are both very, very emotional. We have The Last Letter by RebeccaYarros and What I Should Have Said by Max Monroe. Both of these are following single parents. In The Last Letter, we have a single mother, and then in What I Should Have Said, we have a single father. They are both small town romances, and both, like I said, very, very, very emotional. And I will say, trigger warning for loss of a child in both of these books. But I think if you want that sort of emotional heartbreak and you can handle that trigger, if you've read and loved The Last Letter, pick up What I Should Have Said. Now let's get into my fantasy pairing, because if you read and loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, this is one that, again, I didn't totally love, but I know it's very appealing to other people. Or maybe if you've read it and you didn't love it like me, you might love Peaches and Honey by Raeta. This one has actually just been picked up by a publisher. I read it while it was indie published and absolutely loved it so much. Both of these are, like I said, fantasy, and they feel historical because they both follow a heroine who is immortal. She cannot die. She made a deal with someone and she's gonna live forever. But in The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, everyone that she meets forgets her. That it's not that way in Peaches and Honey, but they still have such similar vibes in you're following one heroine throughout time, through very long periods of time and different time periods, and seeing what that was like and how each of these heroines survived that. And there is a hint of a romance in both of them. So if you read and liked The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and you have not read Peaches and Honey yet, pick it up. Now let's talk about some historical fiction. If you read and loved The Things We Leave Unfinished by RebeccaYarros, then I think you should read A Fire Burning by Julianna MacLean. Both of these are World War II historical fictions. They both have a past and present timeline, and they both are following sisters who are willing to risk everything, give up their lives for their sister. And there's a little bit of romance in both of them. They are heartbreaking, but also hopeful and just beautiful stories. I absolutely loved both of these books, but I do know that this one has had a bit more attention. And I think this author and this book in general, just, it needs more love. So if you read this and loved it, pick this up. Moving on to thrillers, I have 3 pairings, so 6 books. The first pairing that I have, you guys, Pretty Girls by Karin Slaughter. If you read and loved Pretty Girls, then you need to read one of my favorite books of the year. And I keep shoving it down your throats, okay? Since I read this book. Those Girls by Chevy Stevens. Both of these authors are so incredibly talented. They do not shy away from the nitty-gritty, from the dark and disturbing. They're going to give you those moments on the page. They don't shy away from them. These both are following sisters and 2 kind of different timelines. You have, something has happened in the past here, also here, that both of these groups of sisters are running away from, but they are confronted with their past and they have to face it and face the consequences that come along with it. I love both of these books so much. Both of these are 5-star reads for me, 5-star thrillers. They are more than just thrillers. They get you emotionally hooked in them, and you find yourself really caring about these girls. And that doesn't happen too often in thrillers. So I think that really says something about both of these authors' writings, that you just get so emotionally invested in both of them. So if you're a Karin Slaughter fan and you've read Pretty Girls and you absolutely love it, please, please pick up Those Girls by Chevy Stevens. I could sing its praises, and I do. I have. Read it, okay? Give it a shot. It's incredible. Now we're going to move on to some children that are behaving badly. Maybe not so much behaving badly, but they're just like, they're creepy. Like, what's going on with you? Okay, what is happening? The Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry. So if you read this book and you loved it, I think you should read Baby Teeth by Zoje. I forget her last name, but I believe it's Zoje. I'll have the picture up here. Like I said, both of these are following children who are just terrible. Like, if you don't have children and you read these books, you're gonna be like, I don't want kids. These things are evil. And the kids in here, like, what is going on with you? What is happening? Is it the parents' fault? Are they doing something? Or is it just the kid? I don't know. You got to read it and find out. Both of these had such jaw-dropping moments for me. And like, I was just left with like, what did I read? Did that really happen? Yeah, it did. They're just jaw on the floor, shocking, but so entertaining, so good. So yeah, if you've read The Perfect Child, pick up Baby Teeth. I promise you'll love it too. Lastly, I'm going to talk about On a Quiet Street by Serafina Novaglass. This is another book that I read this year, and it's one of my favorite thrillers that I've read so far this year. So if you read this book and you loved it, I think you should read The Whispers by Ashley Audrain. Now, I feel like maybe these are a bit of a stretch comparing them, but if you liked the neighborhood aspect, the mystery that happened in here in this little small neighborhood where kind of everyone is a suspect and everyone has secrets, I think you would like that, because that it happens in here. A young boy, I believe he falls out of a window. And so you get different perspectives of people from the neighborhood and like what they think happened and what like led up to that night. and you just really dive into these people's lives, and they're both very similar in that. I will say that this one is more of like a traditional thriller, whereas this one is more, it's like a mystery, but I don't know. I think this one leans more fiction than thriller. So if you just want something a little different, but still sort of the same, read it. Did I make any sense? Probably not. It's so good though. Ashley Audrain, I am very anxiously awaiting whenever she publishes a new book, because The Push, also, if you want a child behaving badly, like The Perfect Child, read The Push. It is one of my all-time favorite books, but we're not talking about that one here. One of my favorite books of all time. And then this one, I did really enjoy this one. Her writing is just so like, it just makes you think, really makes you think. So yeah, I need her newest book. So those are all of the books that I have to recommend to you guys. Let me know if you've read any of these, if you love them, if you agree with my pairings at all. Hopefully I did a good job. I feel like I did. I don't know. You all let me know in the comments down below. But if you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a cat emoji in the comments down below, or a cookie emoji, because Cookie did make a little appearance. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.